Malaysians are less than 10 days away from voting in the country's 15th general election, but concerns are growing about heavy rainfall and flooding during the annual monsoon season. Last year's deluge was one of the worst in Malaysia's history. More than 50 people died and thousands were forced to evacuate. The state of Selangor saw heavy rains and flooding early this week, forcing some parties to suspend campaigning. Selangor is home to some of the most exciting electoral fights this time round, as many seats are contested by more than 5 candidates. Barisan Nasional has placed big bets on the state, fielding heavyweight candidates that they hope will win big. For more on the race, CNA's Melissa Goad joins us live now from Kuala Lumpur. Mel, Selangor, the country's richest state, it's come under the national spotlight after big names were fielded there, including 2 caretaker ministers. Tell us more about the state of play there.
It's still raining. Selangor, the crown jewel, has been under the opposition rule since 2008. It's Pakatan Harapan stronghold. Now, for 14 years, UMNO-led Barisan Nasional has been trying to turn the tide on the opposition. They only won 2 of the 22 federal seats in Selangor in the last election. So it's sending a so-called creme de la creme to recapture a couple more seats this round. But that is easier said than done, observers said. Now, while incumbent Finance Minister Zafrul Aziz's fight in Kuala Selangor is tough, it's nothing compared to caretaker Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin's facing in Sungai Buloh. It's a huge political risk for him. Sungai Buloh is largely urban, 45% voters are Chinese, and 3-term consecutively won by the opposition, now with over 26,000 vote majority. Now, although the incumbent Sri Sivarasa is not contesting this round, but how do you beat such a supermajority? Now, KJ is trying to fall back on his track record as a health minister to try to, pull him through. But voters these days are very savvy. They just don't look at him alone. They look at which party and which coalition he's from. Now, the past few days have been very difficult for him, with the opposition kept harping on one vote for him is one vote for party president Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, while KJ has been trying to counter that by saying that nope, one vote for him is actually one vote for future Prime Minister. But his party president, Ahmad Zahid, doesn't seem to think that way. When met at a BN command center in Titi Wangsa last night, he insisted that KJ has picked this tough seat himself and he has no one to blame for himself. Let's take a listen.
He asked for it. He asked the seat to be given to him. That's why I endorse him in Sungai Buloh. Okay?
But as a future Prime Minister...
It is depending on the next general election. Okay.
Now, elsewhere, also keenly watched, the hot seats in Selangor include Gombak, where Pakatan Harapan is fielding Selangor Chief Minister Amiruddin Syari to take back the seat from Azmin Ali, the caretaker trade minister. Now, Azmin is said to be the prime mover of the Sheraton move that triggered the fall of Pakatan Harapan government. Now, his billboards are the biggest and the tallest I've ever seen in Kuala Lumpur for a candidate. Now, next door, his former ally, Zuraida Kamaruddin, another so-called political frog, is also fighting to defend her seat in Ampang. It's a 9-cornered fight there. Now, meanwhile, here in Pandan, where I am, the PKR number 2, Rafizi Ramli, is trying to make a comeback. It's a 5-way fight. He's facing off MCA former president Ong Tiket. Now, analysts say that Ong Tiket will just split votes for Rafizi. Now, with all these happening, Selangor is shaping up to be an interesting fight, and Rafizi is arriving anytime now.
Mel, there are also 11 seats in the densely populated federal territory of KL. Last election, there was a clean sweep for the opposition Pakatan Harapan. How is campaigning there coming along?
Well, Pakatan Harapan used to hold all the federal seats in the capital, Kuala Lumpur, all 11 of them. But due to Sheraton move, they lost a couple. So now PH is going all out to reclaim these seats. Leading the charge was none other than Dr. Wan Aziza, wife of opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim, the country's first woman deputy prime minister. Now, her approach, her humble way of dealing with people have won the hearts and minds of voters here. Still, she's unforgiving when we talk about incumbent Kamaruddin Jaafar, who switched sides to join former Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin per Ikrar Nasional.
I don't know, you should ask him how he felt when he left us after all those years together. For me, I just soldier on. Whatever comes, inshallah, because I believe that our country deserves better.
No, it remains to be seen whether those MPs who betrayed the people's mandate last time will be punished by voters this round. Barisan Nasional is definitely fielding some heavyweights here as well to try to turn the tide on Pakatan Harapan in Kuala Lumpur.
Mel, thank you very much for that. And stay dry there in the capital. Melissa Goh there reporting live for us in Kuala Lumpur.